to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. She wanted to know about the total number of routes operationalized under the Regional Connectivity Scheme RCS Udan since its inception. She also inquired about the number of persons who have benefited from the scheme. She also wanted to know whether the government proposes to include more routes under Udan, identification of such routes, and also the contribution of the scheme in the growth of civil aviation industry in the country and demand for new aircrafts. The Minister of Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia answered to another relevant question.
पूरे देश में बहुत विस्तार हुआ है। 517 रूट्स वर्तमान में प्रचलित हैं। जिस देश में 65 वर्षों में केवल 74 एयरपोर्ट थे, आज 149 एयरपोर्ट, हेलीपोर्ट और वाटरड्रोम प्रचलित हो पा रहे हैं। हमने इस संख्या को दुगना से ज्यादा कर दिया है 9.5 वर्षों में, और हमारी प्राथमिकता है कि इसे हम आगे जाके बढ़ाएं। हमारे एयरलाइंस की भी पूर्ण क्षमता आगे बढ़ने वाली है और आने वाले दिनों में इस क्षेत्र को एक बैकबोन आवागमन के क्षेत्र में पूरे देश का हम बनाने वाले हैं।
As of 23rd of November 2023, 517 routes connecting 76 airports, including 9 heliports and 2 water aerodromes, have been operationalized under the Regional Connectivity Scheme Udan. Udan Round 5.1 for helicopter routes and Round 5.2 for small aircraft routes have been bidded out. The Udan scheme has encouraged procurement of different types of aircraft in the country. Presently, 3-seater Tecnam, 9-seater Cessna 208B, 19-seater Twin Otter, as well as bigger aircrafts like 189-seater Airbus 320, 321 and B737 are in operation for Udan flights. Regional Connectivity Scheme Udan, पूरे देश का आम नागरिक, has made millions fly over the Indian skies in the 6 years of its existence. Once the domain of the rich, flying has been made affordable for all. Completion of 6 successful years of Udan is an incredible milestone for the aviation sector. This remarkable achievement is a testament to India's commitment towards democratizing the aviation sector and ensuring accessible air travel for all. The Regional Connectivity Scheme, RCS Udan, is a government-backed initiative to improve infrastructure and connectivity in India, especially in remote and underserved regions. So far, RCS Udan has facilitated travel of more than 130 lakh passengers, demonstrating its success in enhancing air travel accessibility. RCS is one of the key elements of NCAP 2016, which envisions domestic ticketing of 50 crore by 2027. In Udan 1.0, 5 airline companies were awarded 128 flight routes to 70 airports, including 36 newly made operational airports. In Udan 2.2, 73 underserved and unserved airports were announced, and for the first time, helipads were also connected. Under Udan 3.0, in coordination with the Ministry of Tourism, tourism routes were included. In addition to seaplanes and connecting water aerodromes, several routes in the northeast regions came under the ambit of the scheme. This initiative has successfully connected destinations such as Khajuraho, Deoghar, Amritsar and Kishangarh, which have substantial relevance in religious tourism. The entire northeast region's tourism industry is experiencing a considerable upsurge due to the introduction of Pasighat, Zero and Tezu airports in Arunachal Pradesh, fostering greater accessibility. A total of 75 airports have been operationalized under UDAN. 8 airports have been operationalized in the northeast region. UDAN 4.0 gave impetus to northeastern regions, hilly states and islands. The operation of helicopters and seaplanes were incorporated. Following the 4 successful rounds of bidding, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has launched the 5th version of RCS UDAN with numerous improvements based on stakeholder feedback. In UDAN 5.0, the focus is on Category 2 and Category 3 aircrafts. Category 2 aircrafts carry 20 to 80 passengers and Category 3 aircrafts have space for more than 80 seats. The cap of 600 kilometers has been removed and there is no restriction on the distance between the origin and destination of the flight. In the lower house, a question related to additional employment opportunity was put up to the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Members Vinayak Raut and Sanjay Jadhav wanted to know from the Labour Minister whether additional employment opportunities are being generated due to the development schemes being implemented in the country. The members also queried if the government has formulated any national urban youth employment program to promote employment generating opportunities in rural and urban areas. The members also queried about other government initiatives, if any, in this regard. The government in its reply informed the Lok Sabha that employment generation coupled with improving employability is the priority of the government. Accordingly, the government of India has taken various steps for generating employment in the country including rural and urban areas. The budget of 2023-24 proposed to increase capital investment outlay steeply for the 3rd year in a row by 33% to rupees 10 lakh crore, which would be 3.3% of the GDP. Production-linked incentive scheme (PLI) is being implemented by the government with an outlay close to 2 lakh crore rupees for a period of 5 years starting from 2021-22, which have the potential for creating 60 lakh new jobs. There are 2 skill development programs for rural youth under NRLM, namely Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana (DDU-GKY) and Rural Self-Employment Training Institutes. Besides these initiatives, various flagship programs of the government such as Stand Up India, Digital India, etc. are also oriented towards generating employment opportunities in the country. The efforts comprise of various long-term schemes, programs, policies for making the country self-reliant and to create employment opportunities. 3 major schemes underway to increase employment under the Ministry of Labour and Employment are Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana (ABRY), Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Protsahan Yojana (PMRPY) and National Career Service (NCS) project. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, amount reimbursed as of September 2023 is close to rupees 9,880 crore. Over 1.5 lakh establishments have benefited from the scheme. Number of beneficiaries or new employees stands at over 60 lakh. Under the Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Protsahan Yojana, financial benefits of over rupees 9,250 crore have been disbursed. More than 1.5 lakh establishments have benefited from this scheme. More than 1.2 crore people have benefited under this scheme. Talking of other initiatives, Government of India has introduced a pension scheme for unorganized workers, namely Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan (PMSYM) to ensure old age protection for unorganized workers. This scheme benefits workers and laborers with monthly income of rupees 15,000 per month or less who belong to the entry age group of 18 to 40 years. There is another scheme called the National Pension Scheme for Traders and Self-Employed Persons. The scheme is meant for old age protection and social security of retail traders, shopkeepers and self-employed persons with annual turnover not exceeding rupees 1.5 crore. In the upper house, BJP member Biplab Kumar Dev asked question related to the implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission. The member inquired if a nationwide scheme has been implemented to provide drinking water through tap water connection to every household in the country. He also inquired the details of the funds allocated and spent under Jal Jeevan Mission. The government in its reply informed the upper house that since 2019, the government of India in collaboration with states has been executing the Jal Jeevan Mission Har Ghar Jal, aiming to provide assured potable water through tap water connections to every rural household in the country. At the time of the announcement of Jal Jeevan Mission, 3.23 crore rural households were reported to have tap water connections. So far, as reported by states and UTs as of November 2023, around 10.47 crore additional rural households have been provided with tap water connections. Thus, as of November 2023, out of 19.24 crore rural households in the country, more than 13.7 crore or 71% households are reported to have tap water supply in their homes. The Jal Jeevan Mission was announced by the central government on August 15, 2019 with an aim to provide safe and adequate drinking water to all rural households in India by 2024. 9 states and union territories have achieved 100% households with tap water supply. These include Goa, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, Haryana, Telangana, Puducherry, Gujarat, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Mizoram and Bihar are nearing the completion mark, both with over 96% households with tap water supply. As far as funds allocation is concerned, central share drawn by states and UTs is over rupees 40,000 crore. As many as 145 districts and close to 1,87,000 villages in the country have reported 100% coverage. The mission implements the program in partnership with states and UTs, and it is the combined efforts of all, including development partners, that transformational change is seen on ground. Every second, one tap water connection is getting installed, thereby changing the rural landscape of the country. Since 1st of January 2023, on an average, 87,500 tap connections are provided every day. The relentless efforts of the union and state governments have also resulted in ensuring the provision of tap water supply in over 9 lakh schools and 9.5 lakh Anganwadi centers in the country. In the 112 aspirational districts of India, at the time of the launch of the mission, only 21.4 lakh households had access to tap water, which has now increased to 1.81 crore. In the lower house, members Pratap Simha, LS Tejasvi Surya, Dr. Umesh G. Jadhav and Anna Saheb Shankar Jole asked a question related to the Ministry of Education. The members wanted to know the number of higher educational institutions in the country, state-wise, at present and before 2014-2019, under various categories of HEIs. They inquired about the number of IITs, IIMs, triple ITs, regional NITs, universities, autonomous universities and deemed to be universities in the country at present and before 2014. Their query was also related to the number of institutes of national importance in the country and the number of HEIs set up by or under the direct control of the center in the last 9 years. The government in its reply informed the Lok Sabha that the total number of higher educational institutions, HEIs, including university-level institutions, colleges and stand-alone institutions, as registered under the All India Survey on Higher Education, have increased to 58,643 in 2021-22 from 51,534 in 2014-15. The number of universities, university-level institutions, including IITs, IIMs, triple ITs, NITs, deemed to be universities, etc., are, as registered under AISHE, have increased to 1,168 in 2021-22 from 760 in 2014-15. The number of universities has increased significantly in the country over the last decade. The government has expanded the number of IITs and IIMs across the country, with 7 IITs and 7 IIMs established over the last decade. The government has ensured enhanced opportunities for students to pursue higher education. There were 16 IITs in the country in 2014. Now there are 23. There were 13 IIMs in the country in 2014. Now there are 20. Overall, the progressive institutional structure has played a vital role in the development of India's education system. The focus on high-quality education, research and innovation has helped to position India as a global player in various fields. Out of 1,113 universities, 657 are government managed. The central government manages 235, state governments manage 422. 10 are private deemed universities, which are aided, and 446 are private unaided universities. There are 17 universities exclusively for women. It was 11 in 2014-15. There are 16 open universities and 112 dual mode universities. Close to 5,300 colleges have been established over the last decade, up from 38,498 in 2014 to 43,796 now. This has led to increased access to education for students across the country. It is noteworthy that 43% of universities and over 61% colleges are located in rural areas. Number of colleges per lakh eligible population in the country is 31. It was 27 in 2014-15. Student enrollment in higher education has increased over the last 9 years. Total enrollment in higher education has reached nearly 4.13 crore. Overall increase in enrollment since 2014-15 is nearly 21%. The growth in enrollment of scheduled caste students as compared to 2014-15 is close to 28%. Overall increase in ST student enrollment since 2014-15 stands at 47%, while the increase in OBC student enrollment since 2014-15 is over 31%. Rajya Sabha member Pramod Tiwari asked a question related to target of Pakka houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. The member inquired whether government has achieved the target to construct Pakka houses in all urban areas under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. The number of Pakka houses constructed in the last 3 years and also the measures taken to complete the target of constructing Pakka houses in urban areas. Responding to the query, Minister of State in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Kausal Kishore, said that the ministry has been implementing Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban under Housing for All mission since June 2015 by giving central assistance to implementing agencies through states and union territories for providing all-weather Pakka houses with basic civic amenities to all eligible urban beneficiaries. PMAYU is a demand-driven scheme and Government of India has not fixed any target for construction of houses. The MOS also confirmed that the ministry regularly reviews the status of implementation of PMAYU with states and UTs through monthly progress reports, monthly review meetings, and in the meetings of Central Sanctioning and Monitoring Committee. In his reply, he also added that the scheme period, which was earlier up to 31st of March 2022, has since been extended up to 31st of December 2024. The minister also gave state and UT-wise data of last 3 financial years. He asserted that the total number of houses constructed in FY 2020-21 were more than 14.5 lakh. In 21-22, 10.3 lakh houses were constructed, and in financial year 22-23, the total number of constructed houses were more than 14.8 lakh. Sharing some of the state details, in Andhra Pradesh, more than 98,000 houses were constructed in FY 2021. More than 63,000 in FY 2021-22, and in FY 22-23, more than 2.6 lakh houses were constructed. In Bihar, in financial year 2020-21, more than 23,000 houses were built. 13,000 plus houses were built in FY 21-22, and in 22-23, 22.6 thousand plus houses were built. In Haryana, the 3 consecutive house construction details are more than 18,000, nearly 7,000 and more than 13,000 in this financial year. Giving detailed data of Northeast, he stated that in 2020-21, 26,000 plus houses were constructed. In 21-22, the total constructed houses were more than 24,000, and this figure rose to more than 61,000 in 22-23. Talking about Union Territories, he confirmed that in 2020-21, 14,000 plus houses were constructed, and in FY 22-23, the construction of houses numbers more than 13,000. The Union Cabinet has approved continuation of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban till 31st of December 2024 based on states and Union Territories' requests. Under the PMAY, close to 1 crore 20 lakh houses have been sanctioned. More than 78 lakh houses have been completed. Talking of financial progress, the scheme has an approved investment of over 8 lakh crore, out of which the centre has committed close to rupees 2 lakh crore. The centre has already released more than rupees 1,54,000 crore, of which nearly 1,45,000 crore rupees have already been expended. Over 16 lakh houses are being constructed using new technologies. Now, let us have a look on some of the states and UTs and see how the scheme has progressed. In Uttar Pradesh, more than 17.7 lakh houses were sanctioned and 13.3 lakh plus houses have been delivered so far. In Gujarat, more than 10 lakh houses have been sanctioned, out of which more than 8.9 lakh houses have been delivered. Now, coming to northeastern state Tripura, more than 68,000 plus houses have been delivered. Out of nearly 89,000 sanctioned houses, in Maharashtra, more than 13.9 lakh houses have been sanctioned and 8.2 lakh plus houses have been delivered to the beneficiaries. In MP, out of more than 9.6 lakh sanctioned houses, more than 7.2 lakh houses have been completed and delivered to the beneficiaries. Now, let us take a look at what, apart from question hour, took place in the Parliament today. The winter winter session of Parliament for 2023 began on Monday and will continue until December 22nd. It will have 15 sittings spread over 19 days. When the House met this morning, the Lok Sabha paid obituary references to 6 of its former members who passed away recently. Later, the Lok Sabha passed Advocates Amendment Bill 2023 by voice vote. The legislation repeals certain sections related to doubts under the Legal Practitioners Act 1879. The Central Universities Amendment Bill 2023 was also introduced in the Lok Sabha. The bill seeks to amend the Central Universities Act 2009 for the establishment of a central university, namely Samakka Sarakka Central Tribal University in Telangana. On day one of the proceedings, when the House met this morning, the upper house paid obituary references to 5 of its former members. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar reconstituted the panel of vice chairpersons comprising 8 members. Rajya Sabha today adopted a motion accepting the recommendations of the Privileges Committee on suspension of AAP MP Raghav Chadha, who has been held guilty by the committee and is now allowed to attend the winter session. The upper house also passed the Post Office Bill 2023 through a voice vote that seeks to repeal the 125-year-old Indian Post Office Act and consolidate and amend the law relating to post offices in the country. Replying to the discussion for the consideration of the bill, Communications Minister Ashwini Vaishnav explained the provision for interception. That is all we have in Question Hour Plus for the day. Keep watching Sansad TV. Namaskar.
Various parties post questions related to 8 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, in the Lok Sabha's question hour today, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 11 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. In today's program, we will be addressing questions regarding the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and will also provide related information. Now, let's take a look at some of the questions asked by the members in both the houses today. Rajya Sabha MP Brijlal asked the Minister of Finance, steps taken to promote financial inclusion in the country and steps taken to promote entrepreneurship, especially among unorganized small entrepreneurs such as street vendors. In its reply, Finance Ministry said, the government initiated the National Mission for Financial Inclusion, namely Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, in August 2014 to provide universal banking services for every unbanked household based on the guiding principles of banking the unbanked, securing the unsecured, funding the unfunded, and serving unserved and underserved areas. The opening of Jan Dhan accounts has facilitated the coverage of various social security schemes among the unorganized section of the society. The coverage as on November is as under. To promote entrepreneurship, especially among unorganized small entrepreneurs, these initiatives aim to foster financial inclusion and support the growth of individuals in the unorganized sector. In just 6 years, India has surpassed financial inclusion targets that were initially projected to take 5 decades. The Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobile architecture has played a pivotal role to ensure transfer of government benefits to the common citizens. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has resulted in inclusive growth of all sections of the society. Over 50 crore people have joined the formal banking system through Jan Dhan accounts, with more than half belonging to women and 2/3 opened in rural or semi-urban areas. Total deposit balances under PMJDY accounts stand at an impressive over 2 lakh crore rupees, marking a 13-fold increase since August 2015. This represents a 3.8 times increase over August 2015. Amidst the COVID pandemic, over 20 crore women with PMJDY accounts received monthly financial assistance of 500 rupees for 3 months through direct benefit transfers. PMJDY has successfully integrated the unbanked, broadened India's financial landscape and extended financial inclusion to nearly every adult. Over the last decade, India has successfully built one of the world's largest digital government-to-people architectures, leveraging digital public infrastructures. The implementation of DPIs along with the JAM Trinity has been pivotal in increasing ownership of transaction accounts from about 1/4 of adults in 2008 to now exceeding 80%. India's fast payment system like UPI has been notably swift and transformative. In May 2023 alone, over 9.41 billion transactions amounting to approximately 14.89 trillion rupees were conducted. The total value of UPI transactions nearly equaled 50% of India's nominal GDP in 2022-23. Notably, in India, the account aggregator ecosystem facilitated an 8% higher conversion rate in SME lending, a 65% savings in depreciation costs, and a 66% reduction in fraud detection related expenses for some non-bank financial companies. Banks report that approximately 6.26 crore PMJDY account holders benefit from direct transfers under various government schemes. Digital transactions have witnessed a remarkable surge with over 33.98 crore RuPay debit cards issued. Additionally, RuPay card transactions at POS and e-commerce rose from 67 crore in 2017-18 to 126 crore in 2022-2023. Rajya Sabha MP Mukul Balakrishna Vasnik asked the Minister of New and Renewable Energy about the details of production of non-fossil fuel energy state-wise. He also asked steps taken to ensure production of 50% of country's energy requirements through renewable energy by 2030. In its reply in the upper house, the ministry said, India is on track for achieving its target of having 50% of its installed source generation capacity from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. So far, a total of 186.46 gigawatt capacity from non-fossil fuel-based energy resources has been installed in the country as on October 2023, which includes 178.98 gigawatt renewable energy and 7.48 gigawatt nuclear power. In addition, 114.8 gigawatt of capacity is under implementation and 55.13 gigawatt of capacity is under tendering. The non-fossil electricity capacity increased from 32.54% in March 2014 to 43.82% in October 2023. The government has taken several measures to promote renewable energy in the country, including inter alia the following: permitting foreign direct investment up to 100% under the automatic route, waiver of interstate transmission system charges for interstate sale of solar and wind power for projects to be commissioned by June 30th, 2025. Specifying the minimum share of consumption of non-fossil resources by designated consumers, including distribution companies up to 2029 to 2030. Setting up of ultra-mega renewable energy parks to provide land and transmission to renewable energy developers for installation of RE projects at large scale. Schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uthan Mahabhiyan, laying of new transmission lines and creating new substation capacity under the Green Energy Corridor scheme for evacuation of renewable power. India has surpassed its NDC target, achieving 40% non-fossil electricity capacity, a remarkable 9 years ahead of schedule. Notably, we added 64.3 gigawatt solar capacity, a staggering 23 times the installed capacity in 2014. India shines not just in embracing clean energy, but in doing so at costs that have astounded the world. Over the recent decade, India's accomplishment includes producing renewable energy at the lowest cost globally, Approximately 90 lakh solar lighting systems were distributed, marking a 3.8-fold increase from 2014 levels. 5.3 lakh solar pumps were provided to farmers, a remarkable 45 times the installations as of 2014. The share of renewable energy in the electricity mix rose from 6.4% in 2013-14 to an impressive 12.5% in 2022-23. India has emerged as a global leader in renewable energy production, setting an unparalleled standard for cost efficiency. Solar tariff reduced significantly from over 6 rupees per unit in 2014 to less than 2 rupees per unit in 2020-21. Solar module manufacturing capacity experienced a tenfold increase, reaching 25 gigawatt per annum in 2023 from a 2.4 gigawatt per annum in 2014. Additionally, the country saw the installation of an indigenous solar cell manufacturing capacity of 6 gigawatt per annum. Wind turbine manufacturing capacity increased by 1.5 times, going from 10 gigawatt per annum in 2014 to 15 gigawatt per annum in 2023. Foreign direct investment in the renewable energy sector surged 3.7 times, reaching 82,610 crore over the recent decade, compared to 21,900 crore in March 2014. Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency's commendable effort resulted in a six-fold increase in loan disbursement for renewable energy projects, growing from 14,320 crore rupees in March 2014 to an impressive 82,700 crore rupees in this decade. As India continues to lead the charge in renewable energy, the world looks on, inspired by the nation's unwavering commitment to a greener and a more sustainable future. Lok Sabha MP Arun Sao asked the Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying the present status of the various programs launched under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. He asked whether the government has taken any steps to amend the critical gaps in the fisheries value chain, and if so, the details thereof. He also asked the details of new steps taken by the government to establish a robust fisheries management framework and ensure socio-economic welfare of fishermen and fish farmers. In its reply, the ministry said the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, with an investment of over 20,000 crore rupees, has been successfully implemented in all the states and union territories for a period of 5 years, with effect from 2020-21 towards holistic development of the fisheries sector in the country. Over the last 3 financial years, fisheries developmental projects in various states, union territories and other implementing agencies amounting to over 17 lakh crore rupees have been approved under the scheme. Investments worth over 4,000 crore rupees have been approved during the last 3 years. Additionally, under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, over 20,000 hectares of pond area for inland aquaculture, 3,942 biofloc units, 11,927 recirculatory aquaculture systems, over 44,000 reservoir cages and 543 hectares pens in reservoirs, 562 cold storages, over 6,500 fish kiosks, 108 value-added enterprise units and over 25,000 post-harvest transportation units have been approved for promotion of aquaculture, mariculture and post-harvest management activities. India's fisheries sector is thriving, solidifying its position as the world's second largest fish producer and the fourth largest exporter. The sector sustains 3 crore livelihoods. In the fiscal year 2022-23, fish exports reached an impressive $8.09 billion, with the country's total fish production standing at over 174 lakh tons during the same period. Over the last 9 years, the government has invested over 38,500 crore rupees in fisheries and aquaculture with an allocation of over 20,000 crore rupees for the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Since its implementation in 2020-21, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana has achieved 73% of its envisaged investment, approving projects worth 14,656 crore rupees in the last 3 years. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana generated 55 lakh direct and indirect employment opportunities along the value chain. India's fish production has witnessed a remarkable 22-fold increase since 1950, reaching 174 lakh tons in 2022-2023. This marks an impressive 81% growth from 2013-14. Inland fish production has doubled in the last 9 years, reaching 161 lakh tons from 61 lakh tons in 2013-14. PMMSY has effectively addressed critical gaps in the fisheries value chain, emphasizing production, productivity, quality, technology, infrastructure and marketing. Under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, a group accident insurance scheme provides coverage for the fishers and fish workers, offering 5 lakh rupees for accidental death or permanent disability. In 2022-23, a total of 33.21 lakh fishermen have been insured. The scheme expands fisheries to non-traditional areas, cultivating 20,000 hectares through inland aquaculture. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana is committed to empowering youth and women through capacity building, innovation and entrepreneurship. To enhance financial inclusion, insurance coverage for fishing vessels and Kisan credit card facilities has been extended to fishermen. The government is set to increase fish production to 22 million metric ton by 2024-25, benefiting millions in the value chain. Over the past 9 years, the government has invested over 9,000 crore rupees in infrastructure projects including fishing harbors, fishing landing centers, fisheries and aquaculture infrastructure development fund and Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, ushering in a transformative blue revolution in the country. Lok Sabha MPs Sanjay Seth and Dr. Nishikant Dubey asked the Minister of Panchayati Raj the details and number of schemes being operated for the development of panchayats by the ministry state-wise during the last 5 years and the current year. They also asked the provisions made by the government to ensure implementation of better Panchayati Raj system in the country. In its reply, the government said, the Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan is implemented by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj with the primary objective of strengthening Panchayati Raj institutions by way of capacity building and training of the elected representatives and the functionaries of the PRIs. RGSA scheme encourage a competitive spirit among PRIs. This includes financial incentives given to best performing panchayats in recognition of their good work towards improving delivery of public goods and services. The Mission Mode project on e-panchayats works towards digitization of panchayats to bring in efficiency, accountability and transparency in the functioning of the PRIs and for its overall transformation. Swamitva scheme stands as a groundbreaking historic initiative to grant legal property rights in inhabited rural areas. Prior to 2020, inhabited areas in village settlements were excluded from land surveys, leaving these locations without legal documentation of property ownership. Since its nationwide launch on April 24, 2021, the Swamitva scheme has been adopted by 31 states and union territories. A staggering 2.47 lakh villages have undergone drone surveys. The scheme has prepared 1.29 crore property cards for 78,000 villages. A total of 981 cores, including 549 from Swamitva, have been established across states and union territories. flow of Central Finance Commission grants increased fivefold from 2014 to 2023. Funding in the period from 2005 to 6 to 2013-14 amounted to 60,973 crore rupees compared to 3,43,698 crore rupees between 2014-15 to 2022-23. Notably, the per capita per annum allocation of Central Finance Commission grants experienced substantial growth from 54 rupees in the 12th Finance Commission to 674 rupees in the 15th Finance Commission, highlighting positive achievements in financial allocations. The current 15th Finance Commission grants are extended to all three tiers of panchayats and traditional rural local bodies in all states. E-Gram Swaraj serves as a comprehensive platform for planning, accounting and various panchayat functions. 2,55,449 Gram Panchayat development plans for 2022-23 are now accessible on E-Gram Swaraj. Beneficiary verification in the People's Plan campaign has been prioritized, offering an online system to display beneficiary lists for public scrutiny during Gram Sabhas. This digitized accountability initiative covers 16 schemes from 6 union ministries, departments, fostering transparency and public participation. The E-Gram Swaraj PFMS interface stands as a groundbreaking step towards promoting good governance at the local level. It facilitates online payments for panchayats, specifically for expenses under the Central Finance Commission. This unique initiative empowers Gram Panchayats to make real-time payments to vendors and service providers. 2,59,197 Panchayati Raj institutions have adopted e-GSPI with 2,36,970 PRIs conducting online payments totaling over 1,34,000 crore rupees covering all onboarded schemes. The E-Gram Swaraj Government e-Marketplace interface has been integrated with Government e-Marketplace, leveraging the E-Gram Swaraj platform. The pilot has been successfully conducted in 12 states and other states are in the process of completing the pilot process. Lok Sabha MP Pratap Simha and Lok Sabha MP Dr. Umesh G. Jadhav asked the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports whether the government has taken any initiatives to encourage sporting habits among young minds, particularly in rural areas in the country. In its reply, the ministry said, sports being a state subject, the responsibility to promote and develop sports in the country, including rural areas, rests primarily with the respective state or union territory governments. However, the union government supplements their efforts in this regard through its following schemes: Khelo India, assistance to national sports federations, special awards to winners in international sports events and their coaches,